What's up, YouTube? It's Retro Yugioh, and today I've got for you my first place undefeated Traptrix deck profile that I played at locals last night. It's got some little spice in it. Hope you guys enjoy. And here's the deck profile. Okay, so start off with we have 2 copies of Traptrix Dionea. It's not a starter card, so I didn't want to play more than 2 of it. It only really extends your combo once you've already started. So only 2, and obviously you want more than 1, so you have some follow-up turns with it. So choose the perfect number. 3 is just, you don't want to draw it. Same thing with Arachnocampa here. You only really want to play 2 of them. It's more of an extender, not a starter piece. The effect to protect back row came up 0 times through the whole tournament. So that was really relevant. But it was okay as just an extra special summon to put damage on board. Next I have 3 copies of Pudica. This is the one that searches the field spell. This is important. You always want to search the field spell. You never want to draw the field spell, which happened a lot to me, but oh well. Also, the additional effect where if it's special summoned, it can banish an opponent's monster. That's actually really good because that's like another form of interruption this deck has. Next, we have 3 copies of Murmillo. Murmillo is your generic searcher. It gets you any trap hole card you need from the deck. It's actually pretty good because if it can be special summoned, you'll be able to destroy a spell trap your opponent has on the field. Then we also have 3 copies of Mantis. This is another really good one. It's your Stratos of the deck. It also has another effect, the quick effect, where it can bounce a trap card or a set spell trap card you have to the hand, and then you can choose to set another one. Kind of once where I actually bounced a trap card from my field to my hand, and I was able to use Holutia. Because I didn't have a trap card otherwise. So that was actually really cool. It came up. Nice. Next, we have 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. This was really good when it resolved because it means you can summon Rafflesia before you have to extend your combos. So that way you're protected from something like Nibiru, which never came up. But it's another added bonus. It also helps you make easy rank 4s, which that's really what you want to do. Then we have 1 lone copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. So Harpy's Feather Duster, this was the final card I added to the deck. I had 1 slot left, and I decided to say, you know what? Let's add Harpy's Feather Duster to the deck. It's probably the right choice. I can't think of any card that I'd want to have in its place, just as a single option. And it did work. It helped me in a lot of scenarios where I wouldn't have been able to out the back row, especially for game 1. So that was actually really useful. It came up quite a lot. And then only 1 copy of the field spell Traptrix Garden. This card is great, but you never want to draw it. You always want to search it with Pudica. And if you just draw many of these cards without actually having the ability to activate traps, summon Sarah, it doesn't really do a whole lot. But if you search it as an additional combo piece, that's where it's really good. But yeah, never want to see more than 1 of these cards. In fact, never want to draw it. So just 1 copy is all you need. If you don't see it at all, and it gets like MST'd or destroyed by Cosmic Cyclone or whatever, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not integral to your combo. Then for the one of trap hole cards, we played 1 Gravedigger's Trap Hole. This didn't come up at all, but in theory, you want it in case it comes up. The burn damage should not be underrated as well. 1 copy of Bottomless Trap Hole. This was for specifically the Despia matchup versus Fallen of Albaz. If you run into Fallen of Albaz, you need to make sure you have a way to out it, and none of the other trap holes out it. So Bottomless is the only one you can really use. Single copy of Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. We'll move these up a little bit here so you can see them, guys. Whoop. Okay, single copy of Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. Didn't use it at all during the tournament, but it could come up. Who knows? But yeah, it was okay. Then 1 copy of Floodgate Trap Hole. Floodgate Trap Hole, this is easily the best card in the deck. This one, it did everything for me. It was just the main card I would go to, putting cards face down, not being able to change their battle position. Just really, really powerful. Didn't play Cashier, which is the main reason I thought I'd want it, but it actually did work quite well. So yeah. And then the reason the deck is even playable at all is 3 copies of Traptrix Holutia. This card does everything that Traptrix was missing. It allows you to have a starter card to trigger your Traptrix monsters on turn 1. It also acts as a reborn in the grave as a quick effect on your opponent's turn. just everything Traptrix needed to actually be a playable deck, rather than just one of those table 500 archetypes. So yeah, this is really just the core of the deck. I guess you discount Harpy's Feather Duster. Everything else is kind of a staple. I wouldn't really want to change everything else. So that really gave me 15 spots for non-engine, and that's really where the deck. That's really where I won a lot of games with non-engine. So for the hand traps I decided to play, which was I played 3 copies of Dimension Shifter. Every time I was able to resolve this card in a game, I won that game. So it's a 100% win rate for me at locals. And also, I think a lot of people are unprepared for it. I spoke about this in my tier list video, where I said Shifter is actually the best hand trap of the format if your deck can play Shifter. If your deck can play Shifter, there is no reason to not use this card. It is so good. It beat everything I resolved it against. For the other hand traps, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. This is just really more generic. Ash Blossom hits every single card or every deck in the format in some capacity. What can you really say? It's not super high impact versus anything outside of maybe branded for branded fusion, but against everything else, at least it has some interaction form. I thought these would be useful, Ghost Bells. Turns out they weren't really any good. I was expecting to play against a Labyrinth player at locals, and turns out he was not playing Labyrinth. So Bell was kind of useless the entire night. It had like a few interactions, but nothing that would be like, oh wow, I need to play Bell. I probably would take this out and put it in for something else. But the next card that really put in work was Kurikari Div Incarnate. I am so happy I had these. These did everything for me. I was playing against Punk Gold Pride. He had the Fusion Gold Pride monster, the really big one, and he had Psychic and Punisher. This was able to out both of them for to go up to 4,500, and then also bring back the Punisher in end phase. So yeah, Div Incarnate was insane all night. Just amazing card. I'm happy I put them in. And then finally 3 Imperms. Not much to say. Imperm is synergy with the entire Traptrix deck. The one thing I would change about the main deck is I'd definitely take the Ghost Bells out, and I would probably put in Pot of Prosperity, but unfortunately I can't afford any Pot of Prosperity, so I didn't have them. Extra deck, I played 3 copies of Traptrix Sarah. It's pretty standard. You want 3 of these, the best kind of deck. 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix. 1 copy of Traptrix Adipus. This is actually how I OTK'd a lot of people. Like, the theory was Access Code would probably be the one I'd use to OTK, but Adipus was just a much more efficient OTK. It takes 2 monsters, and it boosts everything else by 1,000, for your Traptrix monsters. So yeah, it was just a better monster. 1 copy of Time Thief Redoer. Redoer was probably one of my go-tos. It was apparently the only out I had to the Makankos in the finals, or the final round, I should say. And yeah, because the trap does not target, and I had to out a non-destruction, a destruction immune, non-targetable card. That was really annoying. Next, 1 copy of Alameris. It came up once where against the mirror match, I made it with 3 materials and was able to trigger both effects by using Pudica to banish my opponent's monster, and then using the second effect of Alameris to then bring it back. Pinguicula came up a few times. Again, it was able to search the Traptrix pieces for either follow-up or to combo extend when I had Garden up. And then 2 Rafflesias. I never made 2, only 1 came up. So that's really all of I wanted to play. And then the final 5 spots of the extra deck were this is what they were supposed to be. They're supposed to be Exciton, Baguska, Zeus, Nightmare Unicorn, and Access Code Talker. Unfortunately, they didn't arrive in the mail, so I had to play whatever I could find from my bulk. And what I found from bulk was only 3 cards, so I had to add a second Alameris and a second Panguicula in. I can tell you now, these never came up at all, so these are blanks all night. Just never needed them. The cards that actually did, I thought would come up, Tornado Dragon. Blast from the Past, Tornado Dragon. I actually used this against the Traptrix Mirror match, but it did nothing because I get Solemn Judgmented. So it could have been anything else, I guess. There's also Shadow Player at locals, but didn't play them, so Abyss Dweller was no good. And then the final card, I had to go for the poor man's access code, Borrelsword Dragon. Never made it. Adipus is better. Also, I will add one thing. In hindsight, I would not actually play access code Talker. What I would play is Underworld Goddess. Underworld Goddess is just much better. It's much more efficient at outing your opponent's unoutable monsters. So yeah, I would probably put Underworld Goddess in that last spot. For the side deck, for the side deck, I played 3 copies of Magnuma and 2 copies of Druid's Worm. I played PK in round 4, so Phantom Knights and Bestials carried that matchup. Whenever I saw the Bestials in matchups that were relevant, they were excellent. Just would highly recommend playing them again. I also started them against a Cybers deck with Mathmech. So Joshua Schmidt, look away. They were very good as well. Pankratops, this was the last card in my... This is like the 15th spot in this side deck. I didn't know what else to play, so I just had Pankratops. I never drew it, so I can't tell you if it was good or not. Then next we have 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclones. For back row removal, I thought maybe someone might play Runic, so I want to be able to hit the fountain. It's just spot removal against the trap mirror matches. I don't think I saw it at all, or if I did, it wasn't relevant, so I don't know, probably not relevant or worth playing. But the best cards in the side deck. The best cards in the side deck were easily Dark Rulers and Evenlies. These hard carried whenever I saw them. These were just like the best things in here. So maybe that's a significant a sign that we're going to a board breaker format. But yeah, these were excellent. Just hard carried every time I saw them. And in the games where I didn't see them, if I did see them, they would have been hard carry as well. So I love these cards. Great. Nothing much to say. So yeah, that's the deck list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, remember to like, help support the channel. It's free. If you want to see more of me, remember to subscribe if you're not. And then anyways, so first place, and this was the prize I got from the packs. This card here, which is not worth much or not actually worth even using, but got about 6 months late. So peace. That's from me. Retro by Yugioh. Tune out.